my good friend and host of the Stephen Gardner Show, man himself, Stephen Gardner. Stephen, I appreciate you taking the time. I know you're a very busy man to join us today. There's so much to talk about. Where do you want to start?
Oh, man, I just, the Democrats are throwing these baby fits about President Trump and the FBI and the DOJ and police wanting to clean up these Democrat rat nests of a city. And they're saying things like, who does he think he is, Batman? Well, yeah, because you guys are Gotham. You've got all this horrible crime. You've got graffiti. You've got drive-by shootings. You've got gangs. You've got illegal immigrants being harbored. Like, of course, President Trump has to step in. And then I see from Elon Musk, he posts today, DC crime stats out today, robbery down 46%, carjacking down 83%, car theft 21%, violent crime 22%, property crime 6%. I mean, they've only been in there a week and look what they're already doing. So I think what President Trump is doing in Washington, D.C., I think they are going to roll it out to other cities. I do believe that they are going to be crying. You've already got the mayor of Boston, Miss Wu, saying, oh, yeah, come and try to get rid of illegal immigrants. Come and try to shut down this sanctuary city. We'll show you what Boston is all about. So I wish everyone luck. I don't want anyone to have any bodily harm. But, if you taunt Trump like a bull, he's going to charge you.
The problem, it's not even Trump they've got to worry about. I've had the honor and pleasure of knowing Tom Homan for quite some time. Really good dude. It's not Trump they've got to deal with at this point. He's going to let off the leash. Not that he's even on a leash. He's never been on a leash. I stand corrected. But Tom Homan, when you say something like that, you're inviting Tom Homan to come on in. And come on in is exactly what he's going to do. They can't get themselves out of this mess. But I think what we're going to see is what we've seen over the course of the last 4 to 8 to 10 years of people migrating out of these deep blue cities and going to places like Arizona, Scottsdale, Arizona. I spent a bunch of time there over this last year. One of the most gorgeous places I've ever visited without the tax burden. You can go to Nevada. You can go to, different places throughout Nevada and not worry about the tax burden and, be just an hour or two outside of Los Angeles. So why should these people have businesses? My pal Grant Cardone fled California and went to Florida and is saving himself tens of millions of dollars, living in a beautiful house in a free state where he can carry a gun every day if someone thinks they're going to try to rob him. What incentive is there to really live in California other than the beautiful landscape?
I mean, I love California. We've got family out there. But I would never, ever, ever. There's no amount of money you could pay me to make me live out there, because at the end of the day, you can't tax your citizens into prosperity. Yeah. And that's what Donald Trump understands. He's like, listen, we've got to lower our bills. We've got to generate a new form of income, and it can't be off the backs of the American people. Why should Americans pay for foreign wars? Why should Americans pay for stupid spending? Why should Americans pay for a bloated government employment roster? So, you've got the Democrat Party literally ran on, we will raise your taxes and prove to you that the government is good. And Trump's going, are these guys stupid? Like, how many cards are missing from their deck of cards? Like, you don't run on, I'm going to raise your taxes. So what does he do? He gets the big, beautiful bill through, saves the original Trump taxes from 17, and gets people even additional savings in 2026.
Yeah, they'll never wake up. And we've got some bad news from the Democrats. A new survey out from the New York Times. Democrats lost 2.1 million registered voters between 2020 and 2024 in 30 different states, along with Washington, D.C., that allowed people to register with the political party choosing to be the Republicans. The Republicans gained 2.4 million votes. So you do that math. It's over a 4 million voter swing. The Democrats just keep imploding and imploding. And, honestly, Stephen, it's not getting any better for these people. They have brought forward no new policies. nothing to fight crime, nothing to cut costs, nothing to onshore jobs here in America, nothing to get men out of women's sports, nothing to close the border, nothing to stop the drug crisis. Should I go on?
I mean, Nancy Pelosi just did a public televised meeting where she said she's actually working on a new bill to trans children on a federal level. And that she feels so bad for the people in San Francisco that can't chop off the weenies of their little boys. Like, what a sicko. Like, if somebody really believes that, like, wait till they're an adult. You can do whatever you want as an adult. In the meantime, get your hands off our children, you weirdo.
Hey, you know what? This is what they've gotten themselves into, and they're gonna learn the hard way because they're gonna get burnt, and they've already got burnt, and they're gonna continue to get burnt. Let's turn to President Trump, Vladimir Putin. This meeting with Zelensky. It looks like the next stages of the meeting sequence will be Putin meeting with Zelensky, followed by a meeting with Putin, Zelensky, and Trump, and trying to bring something together. Through this all, President Trump has officially been extended an invitation by Vladimir Putin to go visit Moscow. I say he should go do it just to drive the Democrats absolutely berserk.
You know, as long as Secret Service can keep him safe, and I believe Vladimir Putin would do everything he could to keep an American president safe. Why not? Why not go over there? We're trying to. Trump is using economics to bring peace to the world. He's not using the U.S. military. He's not, trying to strong arm people. He's literally trying to end a war. I mean, someone said to him the other day, I think this thing will probably come to an end in a couple of months. He said, are you crazy? Another 40,000 people will die. This needs to end right now. So I think you should go to Moscow. I think we should try to heal that wound, find common ground. Hey, you guys helped us beat Hitler. We helped you beat Hitler. Maybe we can move forward and let the past be the past. They're no longer the USSR. Let's move forward and stop the killing, and let's rebuild the world based on prosperity.
President Trump, I think, saying yesterday that Russia and Ukraine war would be the last war he has to handle as president of the United States. And, I think it sets him up nicely for a Nobel Peace Prize. He also said that under Biden, Putin had no communications with the White House for 4 years as people died. I mean, why wouldn't Joe Biden try to save this thing and salvage it instead of continuing to send billions of dollars over to Ukraine? We didn't know where that money went. People died. You heard the notion that Ukraine was winning the war. They were never winning the war. There was never any point in the war where they were winning, and there was never any point where they could win. And that's not me being pro-Russia or pro-Putin. It's just me analyzing and speaking with former generals that it's just not possible.
Yeah. I mean, Russia is significantly bigger. Their war machine is pumping out weapons 24 hours a day.
They're backed by China. I mean, you go down the list.
Yeah. I mean, that war just, it has to come to an end. And NATO and the European Union and Zelensky, they seem to want this thing to keep going. The only thing I can understand is maybe pride or money laundering or both. I mean, obviously Biden was trying to cover up his family crimes there in Ukraine, but yeah, nobody knew where the money was going. And yet you have Nancy Pelosi and others saying American democracy depends on Ukrainian democracy. No, it doesn't. Don't lie to us. We have nothing to do with this. You guys are just, you don't care that people are dying as long as it's not American men and women in our armed services. And then you're going to tell me about democracy? They canceled their elections. That's why Trump was joking. Hey, I just figured out a way to stay in office. I'll just cancel elections like Zelensky. He literally roasted him right to his face in the Oval Office.
That was so funny. And I was surprised that didn't get picked up by more people. I didn't even see that. One of my buddies had sent me a video on it. I said, this can't be real.
And then he took Zelensky in his back room where he has like 40 hats. And there's a photo of him showing Zelensky the 4 more years hat. Of course, boom. Gavin Newsom loses his mind.
Yeah, but the media didn't cover it as much as they did. By the way, that's that room where President Trump keeps the memorabilia. I've been in that room. That is what's known as the Monica Lewinsky room, in case
Oh,
anyone was wondering. And I'll leave it at that. But no, Donald Trump is not running again for 4 more years, nor do I think he could deal with the headache of it all. I mean, I don't know anyone personally or anyone in their right mind who would want to be president of the United States at this point. I mean, they literally try to have you killed if you go against what they believe in.
yeah. Although, did you see that Elon Musk came out and said he's basically back on the MAGA team and he's going to throw money behind JD Vance?
Yeah, they said he's looking at it in 20. He also gave, I think, Trump in June like $15 million. So
yeah, he just secretly wrote a check for $15 million. I think he wants back in the family. I say, God bless him.
Yeah.
Let him back in. Let's move forward. He was a great asset for freedom of speech, for getting Trump in. Yeah, they got their differences, but that's what happens when you have 2 billionaire alpha males in a room. One of them's going to figure out who's more powerful.
He learned the hard way, Elon Musk. He should have went back and watched Donald Trump beat the rear ends of 16 different candidates in 2016, career politicians, but with some of the biggest name in politics like Bush and Clinton. So maybe he should have learned that way. But yeah, I mean, I'm all for that. He definitely owes Donald Trump a public apology and needs to retract all those awful things he says, because he knows they're not true and we know they're not true. And then I think the conversation can be had to bring him back in. Speaking of that, some of those comments he had made were about President Trump and Epstein. A federal judge this week, Stephen, you ready for this? U.S. District Judge Richard Berman, a Clinton appointee. We've heard the name before. He's been all in on the January 6th stuff and all that fun stuff. Called the DOJ's efforts to unseal grand jury transcripts a diversion. Now, these, of course, have to do with Epstein. Now, I'm not sure if the Clinton appointee has anything to do with it, but this is in a 14-page opinion. Quote, a significant and compelling reason to reject the government's position in this litigation is that the government has already undertaken a comprehensive investigation into the Epstein case and, not surprisingly, has assembled a trove of Epstein documents, interviews, and exhibits. And the government committed that it would share the Epstein investigation materials with the public. The information contained in the Epstein grand jury transcript pales in comparison to the Epstein investigation information and materials in the hands of the Department of Justice. So he's accusing them of a diversion, but exactly what he wrote in his 14-page opinion is a diversion. I'm not going to release this because they have stuff over there that they haven't released. I'm sorry, that's not what being a judge is, and that's not how a judicial system works, Stephen.
Yeah, this is a coordinated racket. The Democrats say Trump isn't doing enough, and then a Democrat-appointed judge, 3 of them now, block the Epstein files, transcripts, grand jury testimony, boxes and boxes of information from the American people, and the Democrats say, yeah, see, Trump doesn't want to release them. They're not Trump-appointed judges. So the whole thing is just a giant scam.
They think we're stupid too. And I hate talking about the Epstein stuff because people are so tired of hearing about it. I want the files out. I think every single thing should be released with the exception of any pornographic images of children or any of the children's names. With the exception of that, every single document should be released. I don't think for a second Donald Trump is implicated in any sort of disgusting behavior because we would have found out about it already. I mean, they've tried to have this man killed twice. They've tried to impeach him. I mean, he was impeached, but really impeach him twice. They've tried to do everything to ruin his life and his family's life. You don't think for a second if Donald Trump was any way implicated in pedophilia in the Epstein documents, we wouldn't have found out about it the second they figured it out?
Yeah, lawyer David Schoen said there was nothing. Alan Dershowitz said there was nothing. Bill Barr just testified under oath in front of Congress. No connection to these crimes. I mean, I don't know how many times we have to say it. But again, because something doesn't come out, the Democrats say, you see, he doesn't want to release it.
He's lying to you. He's lying to you. We got to turn to someone who's doing just an absolutely admirable job in this Trump administration. That's Tulsi Gabbard. I mean, she's doing such a job right now that I don't think he could have picked anyone better to do the job. Tulsi Gabbard saying this week that she's reducing the Office of Director of National Intelligence staff by more than 40% The spy agency is expected to go from more than 1,800 employees to approximately 1,200. Firings at the largest spy agency, latest shakeup to the old guard and deep state after Tulsi revoked, I think it was just about 40 security clearances this week to deep staters. Talking to Roger Stone yesterday, he says a lot of these people on this list are people who are involved in possible grand jury indictments that may soon come.
Oh, I think they're coming. I am very optimistic that there is a lot going on. Look at everything Ed Martin is uncovering, what he's doing, the stuff that Tulsi Gabbard is sharing and what she's doing. They just brought on the Attorney General of Missouri to be the co-director with Dan Bongino. Now, why on earth would the second in command at the FBI need to be somebody who has no policing history? And all this guy knows how to do is bring court cases. Andrew Bailey.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's so many pieces being put into place. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, Andrew Bailey is a terrific guy. I've had him on the show many times. I think I'll have to get him back one more time before he leaves and doesn't do any more interviews. Terrific fellow. And I think he's going to do a great job there because he is a great American. And this organization needs to be held to account. Pam Bondi has got to keep her head down, stay off of Fox News, and get to work. Kash Patel has got to keep his promises that he's told us over the past few years that he's going to get justice for January 6ers, justice for the deep state Russia collusion hoaxers. If we don't get any of that, the Republicans can kiss all of their chances goodbye. I don't care if they flip another 6 million seats across the country. If they do not get justice for these people who were done so wrong by a crooked Department of Justice and FBI, they can, like I said, switch 6 million votes from the Democrats to Republicans. They can kiss 2026 and 2028 goodbye.
Yeah, it's like I used to tell people when I did financial planning. It doesn't matter what you make, it matters what you keep. Yeah. So you can make all of these promises, Republicans, but if you don't keep them, your voters, they may not abandon you, but they might not show up to vote. And that's what Democrats are counting on at this point. They're going, wait a minute, we're down. We're in a one down position. All we have to do is point out and make people frustrated so they won't come out to vote, and we'll win, not because we have more people, but because we had more people show up.
Yeah. How do you perceive that this all plays out? I mean, do you think we get indictments at the highest level? Do you think we get indictments at, low-level staffers? My opinion is you squeeze everybody until the I told Roger yesterday, you squeeze everybody until the juice comes out, and that's what you've got to do. This is what they've done to the Republicans and the Trump family for 10 years. It's time that they flip the switch and actually go after people who are criminals.
Yeah, one reason I'm optimistic is, Congress doesn't do a lot for us as Republicans. They have great policy, but terrible follow through.
For sure.
But this is on a level where it's Trump, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel. I think that we are going to see arrests. I think that we are going to see some big names, even possibly big names that they know they can't get, but they're going to force them to testify. I mean, for heaven's sakes, they're pulling in George Soros, Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton. A lot's not happening right now because they're on break. Yeah. But when they come back, I bet you the first person that they do a full court press on is Adam Schiff, and God bless him because he's going to need that blessing.
I don't know. Did you see he started a GoFundMe today or 2 days?
For his legal bills.
Yeah, imagine that. It must suck to be Adam Schiff right now, to know that everything he's perpetrated on people for the last 10 years is now finally coming full circle, except there's one problem. Adam Schiff committed crimes. Adam Schiff apparently committed mortgage fraud, which seems to be a common thing now. I wasn't aware of how common it was. Adam Schiff also doing what he accused Donald Trump of doing and leaking classified information, except Donald Trump was allowed to have the classified documents because he was president of the United States. Adam Schiff was not allowed to have it or leak it, but continued to do so anyway. So I think there's big problems ahead for Mr. Adam Schiff.
Yeah. Well, I was reading that mortgage fraud has one of the highest conviction rates. So maybe they can't unwind the auto pen. Maybe they won't get him on the Russiagate stuff, but maybe they do get him on the mortgage fraud, which guess what? Actually has a higher jail time than anything else. So to me, it's like, O.J. Simpson, the dude gets away with murder. And then how do they get him? This guy in Las Vegas sets up this trap where he's like, hey, I've got your stolen memorabilia. They show up with guns. Now they're going to jail for robbery, kidnapping. I mean, so they may get Adam Schiff through the back door, but as long as they get him.
Yeah, and like I said, it's for actual crimes committed. Donald Trump was accused of this, and this. Wasn't found guilty on anything except defaming E. Jean Carroll for allegedly what they said he raped her 40 years ago or 50 years ago in the Bergdorf Goodman parking lot or fleeting room or whatever the heck she said. Or they got him on paying back his mortgage on time with interest. Banks said that they would do the deal with him any day of the week, whenever he wanted to. That's what they got Donald Trump on. They didn't get him on classified documents. They didn't get him on January 6th or whatever. I mean, the whole thing was just a huge hoax. In my opinion, someone they've got to go after right now, I say go after Robert Mueller, even though he's not apparently all there in the head, and we knew that back when he testified before Congress. But someone's got to go after Jack Smith. This man was running rogue like a junkyard jackal, like who the heck he was for 3 years, bullying Donald Trump and his family members and anyone who was surrounding themselves with him. I think this man needs to be investigated as well.
Yeah, I believe they did open an investigation. So they're going to just all this stuff takes time. I mean, I remember when I covered the Bob Goldbars Menendez from New Jersey, and then everybody was like, "This guy got away with it." Now he's sitting in jail right now. Like, it just took time to get through the justice system, but that loser is sitting in jail for taking gold bars in order to kick favors over to the person that gave him the gold bars. So I do believe that justice is coming. But like Martin Luther King said, sometimes the wheels of justice turn slowly.
I don't know if you remember when Bob got arrested, he was begging Trump for a pardon, number one. But number two, he said, now I know what Donald Trump was talking about when he said that there's people after you and there's a deep state and they will get you. Oh, well, there's one problem, Bobby. Donald Trump didn't have millions of dollars in gold bars and cash stored in his jacket pockets, in his house. That's the difference between the two, Bobby. Stephen, as always, it's a delight to talk to you. I'm going to give you the opportunity. You get the last word here. The floor is yours.
Yeah, I just want to say I think some big things are coming. They've got Ed Martin. This guy, he's out visiting Letitia James' properties. He's telling Adam Schiff's lawyer earlier, I think yesterday, he said, you know what? You guys know that you're guilty, and we're coming after you. They're trying to unwind the January 6th fake pardons. There's new information coming out that even Biden's DOJ was telling him these pardons, they've got all kinds of problems, and you shouldn't be signing them with an auto pen. So I think it's just going to take time. When we get back from break in September, I think we're going to start seeing the subpoenas, the meetings, and I think we're going to see some justice.
I hope so. Your mouth to God's ears. And folks, you can catch Stephen's show each and every day, multiple times a day on his YouTube channel at Stephen Gardner 1, or you can catch him over on Rumble, wherever you guys get your YouTube, wherever you get your video podcast, you can find Stephen there. Stephen, my friend, come back soon.
Thank you.